With a vendor for the tablet and prices set for the new vendor, we're ready to make some orders. Now, we could go directly to a purchase order if the price comes directly from a price list, or we could use a quote to record an agreement on a price from a vendor. Quotes might be a single one, or you may make a series of quotes for all vendors selling an item to competitively price them using the quotes wizard. Now, the quotes wizard runs on the preferred vendors list. Since Lemon is now a vendor, we want Lemon to be on the vendor list for these three items we just got the special prices for. So since they're here, I'm just going to cheat and use the golden arrows here to get those in. And I'm going to just hit the item number here. And then I'll just go to part purchasing data. And right here in the ellipse here, I can select my preferred vendors. And here is the Acme Associates, which is my default. I'm going to put a V9 in here and click the circle, and there's Lemon. I can then update that, hit OK, and then I'll update and hit OK. And now I'll do the same thing for the power cord. So I'll go to purchasing, preferred vendor, V9, and I hit tab to get it. And I can hit update, hit OK, and then come down here and hit update and OK, and that gets it in. And I'm not going to do the pizza tablet itself. I'm going to show you how to do that manually in the wizard using the tablet. So we're going to come back to that in a second. Now, we got this done, and I don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to close it up with an OK. And let's go into purchasing. So we have here the purchasing. I'll just close it completely up. And you got purchasing, and you can go all the way down towards the bottom of this list. You'll see something called the Purchase Quotation Generation Wizard. And you can do a single quote, but I find this is useful, particularly if you've got a product that's going to be from several vendors, and you can generate all your templates for quotes all in one shot. And you can go ahead and hit next here, and it asks you for a parameter set. And we don't have one yet, so we're going to make one up. And so we're going to call this one pizza tablets. And we'll call the description the same thing. All right. And then we're going to hit next here. And it asks you on a base on items or purchase requests. We're going to go with items. And we get this screen here. Now we got two things on the top. The first one is the required date. This is the date that it has to be at your docs. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to click the calendar. And I'm going to say I got to have it by Wednesday the 10th. And we also want to know how valid this quote is. What date are we going to say this is good until? And we're going to make that March 31st. So I've got those now in place. I can now come down here and select my items. And I could type them in here, or I could select them. So let's do an LM for this. And then look at our LM items. And again, we're going to do this one. And I'll control click for this one and for this one. And I'll choose those three. And now they're in. And it shows all this different information. You can type in some comments or what the validations are if you want to change them. And the required quantity if you would like. And I'm going to do that because I'm going to say that I want 12 of the power stuff and 10 of the tablets. All right. And now that I have that, I have this table made of what I'm going to be looking for. I can hit next, and I get this lovely table. And this shows me, if I were to collapse it, that there are three vendors that have what I need. Now, not all of them have everything. So if you go, for example, the V2200 here, that one only has the tablet. If I go to the one above it, which is Acme, my default, that's got all three. And if I go down here to Lemon, they've got the two adapters and power supplies, but they don't have my tablet because I didn't put it in yet. These got the default, the tablet didn't. So we can do a lot of things here. I'm going to expand it all out. And usually when I add one in that's an item, I like to group them by items. Right now they're grouped by business partner, but you can group by item and look at them in that order. And so now I can go down here and see where Lemon Pizza Tablet, these are the two tablets I got, one from Acme and one from Ocean. And I can right click on the number 9 here and add a row. And now I can put in that item number, which will be LMT-01. And then I can say what my vendor is. And there's the vendor name. And I'm going to use the same quantity. And now it's in as another potential quote. And so we have all of them now in place. So I can go back to group by business partner, and now I can actually see in Le Mans, they've got all three. All right, so I'm gonna hit next again. And I get a preview of everything that's gonna happen, which was pretty much the same as what I just did. And it says, okay, here's what you're gonna be seeing. You can hit next again. And it asks you what you're gonna do with all this. You're going to execute and make some quotes. Are you going to save the parameter set and execute, or save the parameter set and not make the quotes? So I'm going to go ahead and use one in the middle here, save parameter set and execute. I've got my names already, which I got from earlier. And it's got a little error question here. What am I going to do if I get an error? And I'm just going to skip the next vendor if I get one. So go ahead, hit next. It tells you you're going to be making multiple purchase quotations. You can't cancel this operation, continue. And I'm going to go yes. And I get a successful screen showing that I have actually created 3 purchase quotations. And so we're good to go. I'm going to close this up. And now I can go ahead and look at purchasing reports. And I'm going to go to the open items list. And I have here my purchase orders, but I'm going to look at my purchase quotes. And you'll see here are my 3 quotes. They are grouped by a group number so that we know that they're all having to do with the same thing. But you'll notice that there's no data here. So from here, you get the quote data from the vendors and decide on a vendor to buy from. While you can enter the quote manually, being able to find all the vendors who sell a particular product using the wizard is very helpful in finding the best price and availability.